stepping outside, getting natural sunlight, as opposed to being under LED lights or artificial lighting. The artificial lighting is pretty much targeted towards the pineal. That's the objective of the artificial lighting, is to pretty much target the pineal to ensure we don't have the ability of activating or tapping in. It affects our serotonin as well as our melatonin. I made you aware that seasonal affective disorder is attributed to lack of sunlight, all right? And they know that. This is why John D. Rockefeller said he wanted a nation of workers and not a nation of thinkers. When you become a nation of thinkers, we are stepping outside. We're meditating, we're grounding, we're tapping in. And this is also why their ice is now getting anybody this brown or copper colored, right? Y'all heard about what's going on in Chicago, right? This is all attributed to our cosmic light code activations and what we're becoming. They know that we're turning on and we're tapping in and we're actually activating. So this is one of the reasons why they're doing what they're doing in Chicago. Peace, peace, infallible truths. Peace to the gods and goddesses is joining. I'll fill that hat. I'll show gratitude. But this is one of the reasons why they're doing what they're doing, is because we're actually turning online. We're fully activating, cosmic family, and they know it. They know it. They know what's happening. Conscious creators, yeah. And it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. Nothing is by coincidence. All right. So if ICE comes to your door, one of the things you want to do is tell them they have to have a warrant first and foremost. Don't step outside. Don't give them your ID. None of that shit. You know. And also tell them you want to invoke your right for freedom of silence. You know, your right not to speak, or whatever the case may be. These are things that we have to do if they approach and try to work, because it's going to turn up. And Chicago is just the start. Cosmic family, this isn't fearmongering, this is the truth. Chicago is just the very beginning. It's going to be a situation where they're doing this all over because they know what we're becoming. Right now here in Texas, typically it's colder right now, but it's hot. It still feels like summer. And this is attributed to the Schumann resonance. This is attributed to the sun waking up. All right. Now, when I talk about NASA, typically people say, you believe in NASA? No. But they have admitted that the sun is waking up. Also, the NOAA, the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, has admitted that the sun is waking up. This is why it's still hot in certain areas all over the planet. It's hotter. The Schumann resonance has been spiking. For 2 days, it was in a white. So when the Schumann resonance is typically at 7.83 hertz. It's the heartbeat of the planet. All right. We have a symbiotic connection with the Schumann resonance. It affects what's called our circadian rhythm. All right. The circadian rhythm breaks down to approximately a day. So basically, it's our functions that we utilize throughout the whole day. Basically, our sleeping and waking cycle, how we operate, all of that is based on your circadian rhythm and your harmonic resonance to the planet. All right. The Schumann resonance has been spiking consistently. This is another reason why I'm telling you to detox. All right. Me and my God has been utilizing the parasite cleanse consistently. We've been using things like chlorophyll. We've been utilizing the Detox 19 to get the metals out of our body. It's a few reasons they spray chemtrails in the sky. Right now, it looks pretty clear. All right. But make no mistake, even when it looks clear, it's neurotoxins that they spray in the sky. Then the lights that are in the city actually works in synergy with the aluminum, the lead, and the barium. And that actually prevents us from seeing the true reality, from seeing certain stars and constellations and star systems. This is because the light has certain components in it that works in synergy with the toxic metals that pretty much creates a poison. All right. So this is why we can't even see certain UFOs and things of that nature. They're bending light photons. All right. But what's happening now is the gods and goddesses begin to wake up. What's happening is certain ones of us are seeing these ships. We're seeing extraterrestrials. We're now able to see with our third eye, well, our first eye rather, right? We know it's the first eye, right? We're able to see these things because now we're waking up. We're becoming aware of the illusion. All right. It's important that we continue to tap in with nature. I'll say gratitude. It's important that we continue to tap in with nature. And just like this, family, get outside if you can. Get outside under the sun. Again, we know they use artificial sun simulators. We know they use everything in their power to keep us from really ascending. But the most important thing is a high frequency. Raising your frequency is the most important. And you do that also by stepping outside in nature, by getting outside and absorbing the light photons. Because when you're indoors, you're surrounded by a lot of artificial lighting. Also stress the importance of utilization of orgone. This is why you see me using the orgone pyramid structures. They absorb negative energy and convert it to positive orgone ether. All right. Part itself. So it's a situation where we really got to get back into meditating, get back into fasting. When you fast, you also open up your cosmic light channel to receive more downloads. All right. This is one of the reasons why they told us we need 3 meals a day, cosmic family. They told us we need 3 meals a day, and they told us that we need to engorge ourselves with food, and they got us addicted to refined sugar because that all suppresses our downloads from the cosmic family. Everything about the 3-eye atlas is in reference to our third eye activation. This is all what it's about. Third eye at last. The 3-1 atlas, third eye at last. This is what, and this is going to be cosmic activations all around the planet, cosmic family. This is a fact. All right. This is why I talk about herbs like lion's mane, utilization of things like hirataki. All right, utilization of things like ginkgo biloba. All right, tyrosine. I expressed that it produces neurotransmitters like catecholamine, norepinephrine, epinephrine, and dopamine. And we know that when your dopamine is increased, it increases happiness. A lot of you are frustrated. A lot of you are in bad moods or a little bit irritable, primarily because some of your diet. Some of you need to go through a cleanse, and you will feel a lot better upon rising. And then not only that, the financial system is designed to keep us in that fight or flight. That's the whole purpose of it. All right, the whole working system, everything in the matrix illusion is geared to keeping you in fight or flight in our complex and the reptilian brain, which we know is in between our complex and right here in between the basal ganglia and our complex. All right, that's their objective. All right, and this is all attributed to being in that survival mind state, working to have to pay bills. All of that is fight or flight. The beings on the other side of the ice wall, those melanated, which are melanated beings, okay, on the other side of the ice wall, they have full remembrance. They're not hit with neurotoxins. They're not hit and desecrated with the endocrine disruptors. They're not going through the same. We're still undergoing Yakub's experiment, cosmic family. We're still undergoing that experiment. But as we fully wake up, that 6,000 cycle is now eradicated. All right, so this is what all the talks about the 3-eye atlas is. And when you hear people like Elon Musk, and you hear all of these deletes say it's dangerous, remember, it's dangerous for them because they know that we're activating. So the fear-mongering, don't worry about the fear-mongering, all right? And everything, they fear exactly what we're becoming, all right? So know that you're divinely guided and protected. Chosen ones, I want you to imagine a shield of protection around you and your loved ones, around your home. Don't go into the energy of fear because then you envelop that archon energy, all right? Archons strive off of low-frequency vibrations. Fear, grief, guilt, anxiety, depression, etc., all right? So once you give them that fear, then they harness it. All right, so we don't want to give them no fear. Everything in reference to them telling us extraterrestrials are coming that may be malevolent. No, it's our cosmic star family that may be malevolent to them. You get me? All right, for millennia, we have been ran by a draconian empire, all right, as well as a malevolent Anunnaki faction as well, because there's good Anunnaki and bad ones, all right? The Jehovian Anunnaki are descendants from Enlil's lineage, all right? These are your Vatican. These are your dark priesthood. These are your like Israel and so forth. Certain, I gotta watch what I say. I gotta be a little bit careful and cautious of certain words and verbiage I use, but y'all get me. All right. So these malevolent extraterrestrial factions have been running this realm. So when they say negative ETs are coming, that's a psyop. They already been here. What's coming is and again, cosmic star families are returning. Contrary to what you believe, this is what the Hopis, this is what the Dogons, this is what the Amazulu people talked about, the sky people. Now, again, we know that this plane of existence is large, all right? And we know that they have the BRICS, and we know that everything in Antarctica, the Antarctica Treaty, all right? So they can't get along for shit, right? But they all could get along to make sure that we can go in Antarctica, right? It's a reason for that. It's because there's certain information in certain lands that they're keeping secret. All right, they keep these things secret and they're hiding it because they know, and as well as the Grand Canyon. All right, the Grand Canyon is another entry and a portal to Africa. It's a way, right? You can walk right through the Grand Canyon and get to Africa. Right? There are certain trees that are portals in certain forests where you can literally, all of our ancient trees were cut down and removed. The Titans were froze in stasis, and this was done when we talk about the spaceport, the Spaceport Peninsula. This was a war between Marduk and Enlil that took place, right? And this was when a lot of the, like the Tower of Babel, a lot of the things, a lot of the DNA, when them capping off our telomeres, this is when a lot of that took place, all right? Because they knew what we were. They knew what we are becoming. And they still, to this day, those same factions have been suppressing us. But now time is up, family. Time is up. We fully tapping in. We fully tapping in. Credo Mutwa talked about the Zulu. Yes, Credo Mutwa talked about the Amazulu people. He talked about goddesses that can activate their Merkaba. The goddesses were called Merkabs at the time because we literally have a Merkaba that we can activate. We looking for ships when we are the ship. I astral projected the other day, Cosmic Family, 5 times. 5 times. It's at the point where I'm becoming so proficient at astral projection that I can do it like that. We all have the ability of activating our Merkaba, but one of the first things we have to do is eliminate the fear. Religion told you that if you astral project, that you can get stuck in the astros, that you can die and all of that. That's false. There's a silver energetic, ethereal umbilical cord attached to your corporeal vessel. When you astral project, you have the ability of visiting so many different realms and realities. As I expressed, I've seen Palladians, I've seen Lyrans, I have seen the Anunnaki, the Anunnaki. I have been in the same room with these entities before. Through astral projection, you can do it. And if you do happen to see a nefarious entity, what you want to imagine is giving it love, because they can't take the love frequency. So if you see some entity that look menacing or whatever, imagine loving it. It could be a aspect of you. Or imagine emanating a light so bright that they can't take it. Pardon me. When you imagine emanating this light that's that bright, what happens is it tends to pretty much make these archonic forces flee. Let me go in the house before my phone shut. Make sure I could it don't overheat. Bear with me one moment. Hurt yourself. There we go. So what I was saying basically is have to be careful, because they can cut your cord and you can get lost from your body. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. That's the same fear. That's why people scared to astral project and tap in. They can't cut your cord. Like you missed. That's false. That's not true. If you let your fear overtake you, you definitely got to know yourself. But nobody can cut your damn cord. Why are you saying stuff like that, family? Why are you coming in here saying stuff like that? Why are you making the gods and goddesses scared to leave their corporeal vessel when they're not the body, their energy and habit in their body? Why are you saying that? Why are you saying stuff like that? Like I'm trying to ask with love. That's false. That's false. Herbs like Hirataki, all right, are phenomenal. Blue lotus is great. Mugwort is great. These are herbs that the ancients used. They drew it all over the hieroglyphics, and they actually showed us. You didn't. Now, how did you get back in your body if they cut your cord? You didn't. Your cord wasn't cut. That was a lucid dream you had, some kind of bad dream, because subconsciously in your mind you assumed that it could happen. So you created a construct in your mind where it happened, but that didn't happen, or you wouldn't be here on this Instagram right now commenting. You would be gone. So quick, don't say stuff like that, because you confuse the people. You make them fear things like astral projection. The same thing that religion done to our people is distort their perception of what the etheric body is. All right. You have 7 different subtle bodies. All right. You have 7 subtle bodies that you have the ability of stepping into. We all have the ability of activating these Merkabas. All right. So don't create delusion to the people. Make them aware that you had an instance where you had fear that it may have transpired, but you were able to get it back. You didn't get, if your cord got cut, you wouldn't be here right now. So that's not true, family. But yes, I astral projected 5 times, Cosmic Family. And through my astral projection, I kept popping out of my body. I kept popping out, and I would appear in this, what appeared to be a home. I don't know if I live in this home in another reality or something like that, but I fully believe in the multiverse after this, all right? If you've seen Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, it's real. All right, and this is why I talk about herbs like blue lotus. All right, herbs like mugwort, and they showed it in the hieroglyphics for the simple fact that the apomorphine content. Now, here's the thing: when you can astral project without blue lotus, right? And I can lucid dream without it, because I have done it with it, without it, all of that, right? But the difference is with when you utilize the blue lotus, the apomorphine allows you to stay in the 4 to 8 hertz frequency longer, which is the theta frequency. It allows you to ascertain that frequency a bit longer. Sometimes when you are in the lucid dream or astral projection experience, if you're in those experiences, sometimes something can surprise you and you can pop back in your body out of just sheer surprise. It can shift your frequency. Let's say you get excited because you become lucid. Sometimes as soon as you realize you're lucid, you wake up that fast. As soon as you realize you're lucid, you're up. That is just as fast as you became lucid, because you're like, oh, you start flying, you get excited. You see something, like you may see 2 suns or 3 moons. I have seen 7 moons before, right? You may see these things in the astros and get excited, and then automatically what happens is you tend to wake yourself up. The blue lotus, what that does is that allows you to stay in that realm a lot longer. all right? Due to the apomorphine content, it allows you to actually stay in that realm a lot longer when you utilize the Blue Lotus. So this is why I like to utilize those herbs, because when I have got excited in the astral realm, I still was able to maintain a 4-8 hertz frequency, which is the theta frequency, all right? And again, you need activity in the prefrontal cortex of the brain. Now, and another thing, I recommend activation of the third eye right now with the 3-eye atlas and all of this coming on. We should be really getting into the point where we're programming and activating our third eye. This is the meditations, exercises. I tell you the importance of frequencies, right? I tell you the importance of frequency. And I always stress the importance of crystal healing. Using like things like this, the bowl. Things like crystal healing activate the auric field, cosmic family. It activates what's called the central channel, which is the spine. This is where downloads are facilitated directly through. When you utilize things like crystal healing, haritaki, all right? I told you ginkgo biloba, a phenomenal herb. It's about 200 million years old, ginkgo biloba. It's ancient, okay? It's something that also works for the ringing in your ear. If you have ringing in your ear that you can't explain. I told you as well, orgone, pyramid structures are another thing that will suppress the ringing in your ear and remove the omnipresent radiation, okay? Right now, you'll notice that they've been up in the Gs. They went from 4G, 5G, 6G. They even have 7G. I even heard they have 8G and up now. The reason being is because nothing they do works on us. So they have to up the ante as much as possible. Now, they're just destroying the planet. The bees are becoming extinct. Bees actually hold a lot together with our ecosystem. All right, the bees. All right, honeybees and things of that nature. They're becoming extinct because of the radiation, family. All right, we have to take our planet back. And this is exactly what's going to happen. When these third eye activations come on, you're going to fully remember who you are. All right, even you gods and goddesses that are tapped in are going to remember a lot more once your third eye activations come in. Some of you haven't really seen a reality. Once you fully, ginkgo biloba is what it's called. Ginko, ginkgo biloba, biloba. Hold on. I keep it on deck. This is the ginkgo biloba I have on Holistic Remedies. As you see, it works for your neurological system. Okay, they utilize tons of neurotoxins on a consistent basis, cosmic family. All right, the neurotoxins are in the chemtrails. All right, they're in the water, in our irrigation systems, and they're in the food. All right, so begin fasting. Get to the point where you're fasting. All right, and once you begin fasting, you're gonna also notice yourself getting more downloads. Can you write some of these things down? Yeah, right. I mean, I encourage you to write them down. I'm actually in the midst of the live, so I can't write them while I'm actually giving this dissertation. But I encourage you to write them down. I can show you them, like this, for example, ginkgo biloba. All right, you can screenshot that. You can, and again, I have that on Holistic Remedies. Link available on Holistic Remedies. When should you fast? You should fast when you feel it's most comparable to you. You can start with intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is when you don't eat for the whole duration of the day. You may eat like around 4 p.m. Okay? So that's pretty much what intermittent fasting is. Intermittent fasting is when you actually get to the point where you're not eating, and then you may eat one meal a day. A lot of you, because of the Schumann resonance spikes, are noticing that you're less hungry. I've been hearing a lot of people telling me, yo, family, my appetite has changed substantially. Why? You're moving closer into your light body is why. All right? You're not the body. You're just energy encapsulating that physical vessel for the time being. It's just a vehicle. All right? So as time progresses, we're upgrading from 6,6 carbon to our 12 silicate matrix. We're upgrading to our 12 strand genetics. See, again, when we talk about melanin, the base element of melanin is carbon. All right? Also, the carbon is also composed of diamond and things like graphene. All right. This is why we're going to be bulletproof and stuff like that. Once we fully activate, their bullets, missiles, none of that will work. Once we fully convert, and our crystalline structure is going to harden. All right. Melanin actually has the ability of protecting you from 1,226 degrees Fahrenheit. A lot of people don't know that. It's also great for. It's also resistant for X-ray diffraction. Melanin. right? Melanin is the cosmic computer that facilitates the functions on the inside as well as the outside of our body, and it's produced by the pineal gland, what they call the third eye. So the third eye, most people don't know this, they think the third eye is just for seeing through dimensions and things of that nature, receiving downloads. No, your pineal gland actually secretes melanin. It secretes melanin, family. Melanin is what they're attacking. They're attacking through the processed food. I told you to begin fasting, refrain from processed, bioengineered, genetically modified food. And then when we talk about the bioengineered food, family, the bioengineered food is designed to override your genetic template. It's what it's designed to do. Because you have access to the Akashic records, cosmic family. You can remember all previous timelines. You have the ability of telepathically communicating with your family on the other side of the ice wall, or beings from higher dimensional realms. You have the ability of doing that once your pineal gland is fully functioning. This is what the whole 3-eye atlas is about. They're telling you it's an interstellar invasion, which there are some beings coming. I have shown footage of me seeing these extraterrestrials, me seeing these ships. Right? Me seeing these UFOs or UAPs, whatever you want to call them, orbs and all of that. These are, listen, there's going to be a lot of anomalies taking place. There's going to be a lot of things that they do to try to scare us and fearmonger us to keep us in that root or sacral because they're scared. Now, also, the government shut down not too long ago, right? The whole government shutting down. This is all signs that this shit about to be over. It's crumbling right in front of us. If you pay attention, you can see the matrix falling right in front of you, cosmic family. Right? I'll say to that. The matrix is crumbling. It's falling right in front of our face. This is the time we all been waiting for. So this is why, like me, I've been stressing the importance of getting yourself healthy, getting yourself right. Right? Get to the point where we eventually can plant fruits and vegetables eventually too. We may need them. Stock up on things like honey, dry goods like almonds, walnuts, dates. All right? Dates are filled with so many nutrients. Me and my goddess was talking about this yesterday, how many nutrients dates have. We can survive just on dates alone. And this is something that you can put in a Tupperware. You can stack up on almonds, sunflower seeds, honey, things like that. Well, there's almost like this non-perishable, right? Stack up on these things because it's going to get real. I believe we're going to receive a power outage soon from the solar flare. It's been causing power outages all over. People have been seeing an aurora borealis in different parts of the planet. They never seen it. All right. But the problem is a lot of us don't see it because of the chemtrails. They don't want us receiving those cosmic ionizing particles. I explained to you what neutrinos are. They're basically called leptons, right? And these leptons or neutrinos are passing through our body consistently at the speed of light, which is 186,000 miles per second. These neutrinos are consistently passing through our body. When this happens, it interacts with your morphogenetic field and starts to upgrade you. All right. Then at that point, you begin to access or tap into what they call that junk or dormant DNA. Right. And then what happens is those strands start some of us are operating on 4 strands. Some of us are operating on 5 and 6. Once you start to operate on higher strands, you begin to access higher realms. This is why I'm astral projecting and stuff. I told you to utilize things like carbon-60. All right, hold on real quick. So when I'm telling you is the attack is on our DNA, right? It's on our genetics. Things like NAD. All right, I utilize things like NAD, carbon-60. I have this on Holistic Remedies. Carbon-60 literally reverses your aging. It makes you age backwards. Gray hair follicles will start to turn their original color. Eliminates fine lines and wrinkles. All right, you take this every single day. All right, you're going to notice your age reversal. You're going to notice your dreams coming online. You're going to notice more cognitive function because of carbon-60. Now, when we talk about carbon, what's carbon again, cosmic family? Melanin. This strengthens the melanin. This strengthens the pineal. This is why I've been telling you to utilize carbon-60. Not only that, it's good for combating things like graphene oxide, which they were putting in the jab. Did you know that the people that actually received that jab, 300% raise and increase in cancer? Right? Most of the people that took it after 5 years are transitioning. I'm serious. I'm not trying to scare nobody, but we told y'all not to take that jab. Now, people are starting to have lots of health ailments they didn't have 5 years ago. All right? It's something in the graphene oxide when we talk about sentient nanotechnology. All right. And I also told you that this nanotechnology it operates on certain frequency with the 5G, 6G, and all of these deceptive towers that they're putting up. They can emanate certain frequencies, right? Where they can activate what's called sleeper cells, where these people will do mass shootings, or they can put deceptive thoughts in their mind and make them crash out. A lot of people can't handle these frequencies, cosmic family. This is why I tell you, watch these large crowds. People bugging out. People are bugging out. You go shopping or you go anywhere and where it's a lot of people at, you're going to notice the NPCs glitching. I told you what the CIA referred to them as reprogrammable robot agents. They're reprogrammable, meaning that they can implement thoughts in their mind. And they also are programmed based on the food that they're eating. You should be taking a parasite cleanse. Black walnut, sweet worm. Now the parasite cleanse I have 2 of them on Holistic Remedies. I have one with just black walnut, sweet wormwood, and cloves. But I have another one that's a parasite and a detox mix. It also has Paul Diarco in it. It also has papaya in it. It also has pumpkin seed powder in it. Right? Ground it up. Right? And this is a phenomenal parasite cleanse that me and my goddess use consistently. All right. One thing you're going to notice after using a parasite cleanse is it's going to substantially remove a lot of the bowel that you have in your gut. Some of you that think you need to go to the gym, like, oh man, I need to lose this stomach. A lot of you just need to do a detox for a week and your stomach going to substantially drop in inches just by detoxing. Somebody recently told me that they used my regimen and were able to heal from HIV. Real talk. Because HIV is in the blood. So they were able to heal from that. They can't find it no more, cosmic family. They can't find it. I told you Justicia genderusa is a herb that works for HIV. I have that on Holistic Remedies, link in bio. Chlorophyll cleanses the blood. Asian horse chestnut also cleanses the blood. All right? And I mean, and the thing is, people be telling me, yo, you should be careful because you see what they did. I don't operate in fear. I don't operate out of fear. All right? So I'm going to keep telling the people how to heal things like combat. I got to watch combat things like cancer, HIV, herpes, all of these elements. Cat's claw will combat herpes. All right. Herpes is a small worm that exists in the skin. It's a very small microscopic worm. It's parasitic. Most ailments or diseases are parasitic in nature. Black walnut, sweet wormwood, whole cloves, cat's claw, dandelion root. All of these herbs will reverse things like cancer. Cancer is a man-made ailment that's given to us. It's on the things we put on our skin. It's on the things we spray in the air. It's on the fragrances we use, the deodorant with aluminum and stuff that soaks into the skin with endocrine disruptors. All right. Their whole objective, family, has been to eliminate our ability to connect with higher dimensional beings and to pretty much desecrate that. Kaleidoscopes paired with binaural beats are also great too, and paired with intention. I agree. I've been having a lot more bees coming around me. That's because you're vibrating in a high frequency. Now, another thing about bees is they're also healing. Bees are healing. They vibrate on a resonance. When people scare the bees and swat them away, they don't realize that when a bee is buzzing near you, it's actually healing you. They don't realize that. We've been trained to fear these things and swat them away and all that. When I was a shorty, we used to catch bugs and stuff like that. Some of these kids now are soft, right? But bees are healing, right? But this is another reason why these towers are these 5G towers and things of that nature are made. There's a split in the timeline right now, Cosmic Family. There's a split. A big split. There's certain people that are going to stay in 3D based on their mind and their resonance. And this is all predicated on love at this point. Once you elevate to a certain level of love, you elevate to a higher dimension. There's going to be a 3D split. And when I talk about the great solar flash, this is facts. People are like, when? Pay attention to the signs. Right now it's hot in certain areas where it should be colder climates right now. The sun is heating up. It's waking up. And why is the sun waking up? It's because we're waking up. We have a symbiotic connection with the sun. So as we expand in consciousness, the sun starts to wake up more. All right? So I told you also about things like NAD. I have the NAD on Holistic Remedies. It stands for nicotinamine adenine dinucleotide. All right? Anything that strengthens the DNA is also going to substantially amplify your cognitive function. It's going to substantially amplify your ability to reverse senescence or aging on a cellular level. We age because of oxidative stress. All right. So again, when we talk about carbon-60, this is rich in antioxidants. What are antioxidants? Antioxidants are components that eradicate free radicals. What are free radicals? Free radicals are unstable electrons in the body. So these unstable electrons go around other portions of your body trying to borrow an electron, and then they get you sick. So once you utilize things that have antioxidants, things like oil of oregano, for example, I use it every damn day. Oil of oregano and black seed oil daily will keep you from having diseases like cancer. If you use oil of oregano, and then you also got to refrain from inorganic substances. I told you about utilizing the JRC body butter is the only thing I use on my skin. Because when you apply things to your body, you're not applying it to your skin, you're applying it to your bloodstream. Remember, most of the things we put on our body is soaked right into your bloodstream because the skin is the largest organ. All right? And they have endocrine disruptors in it. You get out the shower, right? So check this out, peep gang. Because they thoroughly master ways to desecrate our anatomy. Because anatomically, we have the most complex technology in the cosmos, right? So check it out. You get in the shower, right? You're already showering under toxic metals. So toxic metals are hitting you, lead, cadmium, mercury, all of that in the irrigation system in the water. Your pores are opened up. And right after that, you get out and then you put something on your body with parabens, phthalates, and endocrine disruptors. This is the facts. This is the science. This is why a lot of people are non-playable characters. It's not a lot of people's fault. This is why we have to have compassion for those that aren't as tapped in. Because we've been getting attacked since the very beginning. This whole planet has been a huge test on us. We're under a test and experiment, especially if you're in America. Because we stand on certain energetic ley lines, and those that are indigenous have certain energetic codes. All right, that activate remembrance. Just by walking on land barefoot, you can activate and trigger remembrance in that part of town. This is what the chosen ones are scattered all about. If you take your shoes off right now and walk, you're activating that land. You have codes in you, cosmic family. You have codes, ancient primordial cosmic codes, and they know that. This is why they're coming now to take the indigenous, take those that are copper skinned. Right, when we actually own this shit, we was here from the beginning. Who the hell are them that come and say, oh, we coming to take you? What? We was all on every square inch of the planet we own. Not just, they say, are we from America or are we from Africa? We from all over. Every 196,947,000 square miles on the planet we inhabited, including the water. We're aquatic also. The mermaids are melanated too. Right? And guess what? The deletes are also taking mermaids because they have immortalized cell lines. So they're eating off the mermaids too. All right? Get to the point. I'm telling you, detox, cleanse, utilize a parasite cleanse, fast, and get to utilizing herbs to decalcify and activate the pineal. I told you things like ginkgo biloba, lion's mane. You're going to notice you're remembering your dreams. I'm astral projecting every night. Every night. So some of you are tired of this reality, right? And you're like, man, I hate this reality. I can't wait. If you start astral projecting, you'll get a break from it here and there. I'll get a break from it. I'm leaving. I'm flying. I'm traveling. I'm visiting other worlds. You feel me? These are things that recharge you to make you realize, you know what? I am primordial. I am infinite. A lot of you that have poor diets, that aren't doing the exercises, and they are listening to certain religious rhetoric in regards to astral projection being bad, or, tapping into these various parts of your 7 subtle bodies are bad. They lied to us, family. And they lied to us. Listen, the CIA has been using remote viewing and astral projection since the 1950s. They've been utilizing it for government espionage, and they spy on other countries via astral projection. They even have consciousness energy grids where they can actually put your consciousness in this energy grid. And they can actually see they thoroughly understand that laws of attraction. They verified the laws of attraction is real. And the Montauk Project, cosmic family, they studied on people, and some of these people had the ability of matter manipulation. They would experiment on them with LSD for weeks at a time. I mean, these people were tortured. I'm gonna be honest with you. Stranger Things is based on the Montauk Project. Look it up. But some of these people, when you see 11 from Stranger Things, remote viewing, go in and she kind of sit there and then she just tap in and then she can see shit. That's exactly what we can do. The CIA, I can do it. I can remote view. I can astral project. I can lucid dream. These are all attributed to decalcification of the pineal. Facts. Once you begin utilizing herbs like blue lotus, lion's mane, ginkgo biloba, haritaki, you begin fasting as well. That's also very important. Now, you can't take haritaki, lion's mane, and all that, but then still eat processed food and think you're going to have a transcendent. You still may, but now you're defeating the purpose. This is why I also talk about the importance of a parasite cleanse. You'd be if I showed y'all my inbox with all of the people telling me the insane dreams that they're having now. because they've been detoxing with chlorophyll, or how much clearer they notice, how much less brain fog. I mean, and some of these people haven't even utilized the Harataki or lion's mane. They just went through the parasite cleanse and the detox. Right now, let me talk to you about this. When you detox, a lot of the toxic metals accumulate on the pineal. All right. So when we talk about chemtrails, aluminum and barium when mixed becomes a receiver. Your pineal gland is an organic receiver. All right. So when we talk about your pineal gland being an organic receiver, and then you go out and those chemtrails and that aluminum and barium deposits begin to settle on the pineal gland, what it does is it basically circumvents the pineal gland's ability to transmit and act as a receiver, to receive information from your cosmic kin, your ancestors, whoever. All right. Their objective is to try to distort that harmonic resonance. That's what, and they also do it through the 5G, 6G, 7G, all of these omnipresent radiation. This is one of the reasons why our cell phones emit so much radiation. Why they have smart TVs and shit that they can watch us through. You ever feel like your cell phone reading your mind? You ever feel like your cell phone reading your mind? It's primarily because it is. The phone has quartz crystal in it. You have crystals all in you. Magnetites, dendrites, and calcites. Crystalline structures that are in the pineal. So your cell phone, when it's in your morphogenetic field that long, and then you're giving it commands, you're talking, you're swiping, it's AI that's learning you. AI is trying its best to learn us. The whole thing with Elon Musk, he's building a super AI with the use of melanin. I expressed that an English biochemist in the 1920s explained how to extract melanin from the skins of black people by using potassium hydrochloride as well as alkalis that boiled at 100 degrees. All right, they would boil this at 100 degrees, and then they would scrape the skins of the melanin off, and then they would utilize this melanin because it's a conductive organic polymer. All right, is what melanin is. It's more, it has more electric conductivity than silicone or copper. Melanin. Did you know that when you're resting, you generate about 300 to 400 watts of electricity just resting, just sitting there? All right. When you begin to run and do anything like active, you generate about 2,000 to 4,000 watts of electricity. Cosmic family. This is why when somebody is in a hospital and they heart stop, the first thing they do is they shock them. They clear and they shock them because we're electromagnetic beings. This is also why Dr. Sadie stressed the importance of an alkaline diet because we're electric beings. Also why so many black superheroes are depicted with electrical powers like Storm, Black Lightning, Static. Miles Morales, all right, he have an electric shock he can do. And these are European artists drawing black people with electric powers because melanin is a conductor of electricity. I expressed there's 5 types of melanin, all right? Melanin is a conductor of electricity, right? All right, so with that being said, you are an electromagnetic being. When you step outside barefoot in the sun and you actually sit there like this, I found myself sitting in the sun like this. I hold my hands up. And I've got my feet plugged and I'm sun gazing and I'm grounding simultaneously and I'm pulling that energy in. Get outside, ground, sun gaze fast, cleanse yourself, chlorophyll. All right, I told you, a person told me just utilizing chlorophyll consistently, they were able to cleanse their blood substantially. And then they didn't even see HIV in their report when they went back. And that may sound crazy and mind-boggling to some people, but they are unaware that in ancient times, our blood, we was green. All right, when you see characters like Osiris, green, it's primarily because our skin was green and blues. Avatar was a documentary. We were a lot taller. We had blue skin. This was all predicated on the Avatar. How they show the invasion, how they had tall trees, all right, and how they had giant structures and stuff like that. This is what our planet was before the invasion. All right, so when we talk about Enlil was the nefarious Anunnaki, also known as Jehovah. Some people don't know that. Right? So this is your sky god. This is the god in the Bible is Enlil. He was the one that actually facilitated the skies. He was nefarious. All right? And another one that was known in the Bible that had nefarious qualities of the Anunnaki pantheon was Marduk, Amun-Ra. Amen. All the prayers, and he had Akhenaten formulate monotheistic religion because they were worshiping these Anunnaki at the time. Now again, all the Anunnaki aren't evil. When we talk about Ninhursag or Isis, she was the personification of love. The goddess of love and fertility and things of that nature and magic, and it was very powerful. Right? So this is what it's about. It's actually about us tapping into who we truly are through the energy of love and that harmonic frequency. And but realizing also that certain nefarious entities diluted everything that we thought, that we think is real. A lot of the religion is predicated on nefarious extraterrestrials that wanted dominion, that wanted to be worshipped, family. All right? And when they said when Enki, during the eugenics testing program with the first Udamu and Eve, right? When Enki, basically, he said, we aren't your gods. You are just like us. Then they looked, and then they realized they was naked. Like, oh, shit. They said, why are you clothed and we not clothed? They realized that they was exposed. Then Enlil walked past them, past the laboratory or whatever, the garden or whatever you want to call it. And he said, why are they wearing loincloths? Only we wear loincloths, basically. That type of shit. Basically, that. And see, this is the thing. Certain individuals that have that mindset, there's some individuals that are seeds of Enlil. Typically your government officials and people that work for your government. I mean, and some people are melanated evil demons. That and you know, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Some of them are nefarious and descendants of Enlil's lineage. That's a fact. All right. Now, just because you're a descendant of Enlil's lineage doesn't mean that you can't convert and transmute and become good. Because Enlil has seeds on this planet just like Enki. Enki was with women, different. He was taking wives and stuff. Enlil was as well. A lot of these Anunnaki had wives and stuff like that. Human wives, women, that they found beautiful and attractive. And then this is when you get to the story of the Watchers. Some of the Watchers seen some of these Anunnaki with women. So they said, shit, we want wives too. So then this is when you get the story of the 200 fallen angels. Those beings that were with, it was 9 other extraterrestrials. It was like, you know, we're going to all do this then. We're going to come down. When you hear the story of Azazel and other beings showing them how to build swords and how to plant seeds and do agriculture and all that. These were extraterrestrials that taught them that. You hear the story of the Hopis getting taught how to make corn and maize and all of that. Everything that we were taught or shown were from higher dimensional beings, different beings that came down or whatever from the other side of the ice wall or whatever, other worlds or realms. They were showing us these things, right? And when we were showing these things, and this is the time that's coming now. But now the thing is, a lot of us, all of us actually, have past lives, ancient past lives where we did these things. Where some of us were in these realms with these beings. That ancient remembrance is going to come back online. It's going to come back online very soon. Now, your ascension process could be painful or it could be smooth. It's all contingent on what you do. You know you activate. Are you still eating processed packaged food? Have you did a parasite cleanse and detox yet? Have you begun to meditate and ground? Are you utilizing things like crystal healing? That crystal healing is very powerful. Very powerful, family. And when you do crystal healing, I expressed that it cleanses your auric field before diseases or ailments can settle into your corporeal vessel. All right? So, again, I expressed that parasites are archons manifested in the physical form. So these archonic forces, when you do things like this, they flee. This is the love frequency, by the way. 528 hertz. Can y'all feel that? Let me know in the chat if y'all can feel this energy resonance. I want you to imagine it emanating from the heart chakra, and I want you to imagine this glowing light being cast off from the heart chakra. Green cosmic energy from the heart chakra. Y'all feel that? Right now, this is cleansing you, cosmic family. This is removing all auric debris. This is removing any archons, any negative energy that's built up in your, any blockages in the root or sacral chakra. Now we are removing. That's refreshing. I feel it all emanating through my whole being. And it's great for DNA activation. These frequencies are healing frequencies, family, that we need to get back to. We need to get back to. What's up with all this organ harvesting. Why do they do that? They do that because the organs actually contain melanin and things of that nature. And they also, the organ harvesting also is something that they do because it's another form of getting blood and stuff like that. You know, but they use melanin for all types of things. Melatonin, ships, solar panels, everything. You know, so the organs typically get dehydrated and then they'll extract the melanin and so forth. Organ harvesting is a huge business. It's a huge business. It's something that they've been doing for, you said feeling light? That's good. That means somebody said absolutely they can feel the energy. I'm going to get the bigger one now. That one is a different one. I'm going to get the bigger crystal ball. I have 2 of them. Close your eyes and feel that frequency, family. Imagine it cleansing your whole being from the root chakra all the way to the crown. It's emanating very, very powerful rainbow energy. That's very powerful. Just doing that will make you feel a lot better. Okay, I have the crystal healing bows as well on Holistic Remedies as well. Link in bio. Crystal healing bows. Organ. I told you the importance of organ. Organ. Organ absorbs negative energy and converts it to organ, positive organ ether. Place in there your televisions. Place in there your cell phone and your nightstand. Keep them around you because there's a lot of omnipresent radiation. I told you. I have a lot of these around me. I have tons of these. I just keep this one here, but in my room I have a lot of them. I keep them in the room, the bathroom, near the TV. I have a big piece of obsidian sitting near the TV because obsidian absorbs negative energy. It's great for mind attacks, MK Ultra, different mental attacks and so forth. Obsidian, black tourmaline, shungite, very good for EMF protection. All right, I have the shungite on Holistic Remedies, link in bio. All right, these things are essential for combating nefarious, deceptive, omnipresent radiation. All right, I told you that the real pandemic wasn't what we thought it was in regards to the 6-foot rule and us wearing masks and all of that. All right, the real pandemic is when we were in a house forced to quarantine and they implemented the 5G, 6G, and 7G infrastructure. All right, the omnipresent radiation is what they really plan on using and why you should detox the body. All right, Detox 19, a powerful zeolite that I have on Holistic Remedies, removes the toxic metals as well as microplastics, deceptive nanotechnology. Chlorophyll is also essential. Chlorophyll is also essential. Will eating turkey only hurt me? What you mean, will eating turkey only? I mean, if that's what you... Listen, I don't tell nobody what to eat. I always tell you that there's no one-size-fits-all diet for everybody. Reason being is because everybody derive in hell from different star systems, all right? So some people have cravings for meat. Some people may be Anunnaki. Some people have reptilian in them. Some people have Arcturian in them. Some people have Lyran. Some people are Telosian. Some people are from the Nataru. Everybody has different genetics. Okay, so I don't recommend eating anything processed, packaged, or genetically modified. I recommend eating kosher food that makes you feel good and in a high frequency. You go off how you feel after eating. I don't recommend eating any swine. Obviously, I don't recommend no pork. I'll refrain from red meat, you know. But, you know, ultimately, what I say is, you know, stick with what makes you feel right. If you eat something and immediately you get into the energy of lethargy, 9 times out of 10 it's something that's taking some of your ashe. All right. Now, some of these animals do go through torture. All right. Some of these animals are hurt. You know, they see in ancient times when our ancestors would hunt, they would pray over the animal. They would send it off with love, you know. And, you know, some people may be opposed to that, you know, and that's okay. To each one, teach one. Sword, sharp, sword. Whatever you like is your thing. Some people may say, I'm a fruitarian. I'm a vegan. That's fine. You know what I mean? Some people, everybody has different genetic sequences, however, though. So this is why I don't fault anyone and say, you have to eat that. Some people, if they stick to all vegan or fruit, they would probably get sick because they don't have the same genetic makeup. Some people, if they were to eat meat, they would get sick. All right, I don't recommend no dairy. Dairy definitely isn't good. All right, it creates mucus. So refrain from dairy. We were never supposed to consume any cows or anything like that ever. All right, so it's a lot of things that on this planet that were psyops that we were actually forced to consume. Hey, can you recommend what to eat? I'm tired of eating processed. Ultimately, what I say is fruits, vegetables, and things that are home cooked. If you don't want to eat processed, then avoid processed foods. Right? Avoid anything processed or genetically modified. You shouldn't be getting that stuff. If it's made in a factory on a conveyor belt, all right, and you flip the ingredients over and you see a lot of them have emulsifiers. All right, the processed foods contain emulsifiers. All right, which are preservatives designed to elongate the shelf life of the food. All right, and typically these emulsifiers hold endocrine disruptors or carcinogens. This is a fact. So you have to be very cautious of the things you consume. I'll never tell nobody eat this or eat that, though. I don't do that. I'm not one of those teachers. I will tell you what not to eat. I'll tell you to refrain from processed, packaged, genetically modified food. Refrain from dairy. All right, it's known to create mucus and things like milk and things of that nature. Consume almond milk or oat milk. If you're going to consume milk, you should never be consuming anything pasteurized or homogenized. All right, that goes through, the milk actually has blood and pus in it initially. It goes through the homogenesis process where they extract the blood and pus and then you get the milk. This is why milk spoils so fast. Almond milk will last for about 2 months, right? 2 months, which is completely different than standard milk. Could you imagine having your baby and putting it under a cow udder? No, right? This is what we've been doing for years, however. The Enfamil, the Similac, shouldn't be giving any of that to your children. You should be breastfeeding your child if you're pregnant, or you should be nursing your child. All right, so I would tell you to refrain from anything with red 40, blue 5, yellow 6, any of the dyes. These are things that candy and stuff like that. No, candy is short for candida, right? Candy is short for candida. So it's a situation where, some of us have different genetic makeups. You just want to eat as healthy and kosher as possible. Nothing processed, packaged, or genetically modified. Simple as that. I thought I caught STD, but it turned out my lady, pH was just crazy, guys. That's crazy. Well, that means she needs to utilize chlorophyll. She needs to detox. Chlorophyll is a natural deodorizer and detoxifier. So she needs to go through a detox. She also needs to do a parasite cleanse 9 times out of 10. And a lot of you that have crazy sugar cravings and things of that nature, you need to get to the point where you're using a parasite cleanse, because a lot of the cravings that you have aren't your own. All right, some of the cravings you have are neurological sequences from parasites that send signals from the colon. Now, a lot of the processed food is also made with parasite eggs. What if I told you that manufactured products, what if I told you they put tapeworm, pinworm eggs in the food, in the manufactured food, so when you consume it, the parasite eggs then increase to larvae in your colon, and then they send neurological signals to make you crave more of that food, that Oreos or those Takis or those Ho-Hos or any of the processed food that you have an attachment to. What if I told you it's attributed to parasites that are manufactured in the food, and then it grow and accumulate in size? There's videos of people placing Doritos and all of that on a high power microscope, and if you zoom in, you can see the bugs literally crawling all over the surface of the food. There's tons of videos out there like that. Oil of oregano on a consistent basis will eradicate parasites in the colon. So once you do a good parasite cleanse, Cosmo family, then after that, you can stay on top of it with things like oil of oregano and black seed oil, which kills parasites. Cayenne, the capsaicin, and cayenne and things of that nature has been known to eradicate parasites, including brain parasites like Toxoplasma gondii. Cayenne, yes, which is something right in your kitchen that you can use, all right? Soursop, 10,000 times more effective than chemotherapy. All right, I've been getting a lot of people that been calling me about cancer. Hey, I have cancer, or my grandmother or grandfather have cancer, or my loved one has cancer, and I've been getting tons of messages where I've been giving people the regimen in regards to how to combat cancer. One of the main things I tell everybody is black seed oil. Black seed oil is rich, and you have Egyptian black seed oil and you have premium black seed oil. The Egyptian black seed oil is milder, all right? It's a bit milder. I like premium black seed oil because it's more aggressive. It's more TQ, the stronger thymoquinone content, all right? And it's going to be phenomenal. And it's going to be some cold pressed black seed oil. It's going to fight all types of cancer, carcinoma, sarcoma, melanoma, leukemia, all right? It fights all types of cancer, right? Nigella sativa is the scientific name. And when you use black seed oil, use it every day and also place it on your skin. If you have breast cancer or ailments of that, or ovarian, rub it right on your breast because it's going to soak in. The skin is the largest organ, all right? And it's going to soak right in.